Hello everyone and welcome to Intellipaat. You might wonder, what is DevSecOps? So, development, security, and operations are referred to collectively as DevSecOps. Making everyone responsible for security is its guiding principle. With the aim of implementing security choices and actions at a similar pace and scale as those of development and operations. Every DevOps enabled firm should strive to adopt a DevSecOps attitude and raise security competency among personnel from all technical disciplines and skill sets. Even more quickly than the demand for DevOps, DevSecOps talent and abilities are in high demand. Over the next 5 years, the global DevSecOps market is expected to develop at a CAGR of 32.2%, with revenues expected to increase from 2.55 billion in 2020 to 23.42 billion in 2028. It makes sense why there are more job listings for DevSecOps. DevSecOps is being used by many enterprises in their workflows. Google, Netflix, Etsy, Twitter, and Facebook are a few well known organizations. DevOps experts with a background in security will stand out from other candidates when applying for jobs in this industry. However, DevSecOps encompasses much more than just the tools and technology. There is much more to it than that. So, let us take a look at the agenda right now. Firstly, we'll start off with Introduction to DevSecOps, then we'll move on to Introduction to Terraform, later Setting up of Terraform, followed by Introduction to Ansible. Later, we'll have a look at followed by a complete hands-on tutorial at the end of this video.
So we understood the problem of resource, and we use cloud computing. And in cloud computing, we are using virtual machines only as of now. Okay. Now let's imagine the case where HCL organization got a project. In that project, you have to set up, let's say, 100 of virtual machines. And in all 100 virtual machine, you have to install Apache HTTPD. Okay, you have to install Apache HTTPD. And when you install Apache HTTPD, to do that, you are the owner of project. Okay, so now creating hundreds of virtual machine, even you are very much expert in cloud computing, is the only problem statement is this is a time taken process. You know how to create it, but it's a time taken process because every machine will near about take 5 minutes to get in ready state. So you being administrator, you try to create one machine, then two, three, four, five, and so on, and it is a time taken process. But you know that you're doing the same step 100 times, okay, ideally. Now the second problem, so first problem is creation of this virtual machine is a time taken process, which is hundreds of virtual machine you have to create, maybe 1,000, maybe placement. So if you are administrator, it's a problem statement. Now second problem is it will take 5 minutes for each virtual machine to be created. Now what you have to do, you have to log in into those virtual machine and you have to set up HTTPD and some sample website project. Again, doing the same process in all those 100 virtual machine is again one more time is a time taken process, right? All right. So there are two big problems. The only thing is you know how to install Apache HTTPD, you know how to create virtual machine in cloud environment, but entire game ball is a time taken process. Okay, so this is now another problem statement when we even have cloud resources. The resources can be given by cloud, but setting them up and configuring them to the ready for use is a new problem which we got. Okay, okay. Hopefully, you guys are understanding that one. If you do, just let me know. Even you know cloud, you know how to install Apache individually, but whenever you want to do this job in a very much bulk, then it's a time taking process. Yes or no? So if you understand both the problem statement, creating virtual machine and configuring them like Apache, maybe Java, maybe network settings, anything one by one is a really, really, really time taking process. Okay. So if you understand that problem statement, then share your response with yes or no message over the chat room, that whenever you understand everything, you know it, and you want to repeat the same job again and again, it is a boring job and a time taken process as well. Okay, good one. Now, to solve this problem, let's try to understand some new technological term, and then we will be implementing them. Okay, so what I'll do, let's say I'll go here and I will say kind of few questions from my end. How many of you guys understand any programming language? Any programming, either C, C++, or Java, maybe Python, maybe Go, maybe R, any programming language. Not as an experience, but you just understand you must be gone through in your engineering or whatever, career life you had. How many of you understand any experience? Is not I'm asking for, just want to understand, do you or not, any language. You don't have to tell the language name even. I just want to understand. If someone is not understanding, then you can write no also, so that I can just conceptual level understanding. I hope if you know, good one. So that means maximum people are having any language understanding. Okay, now let's relate this process. So if you are a developer, okay, and as a developer you understand any of the programming language, and for you, if I say there is a job called printing a message called hello world, okay, I'm saying print this message hello world. So almost everybody can write the code in your respected programming language, and you compile, you run it, and you get the answer. Okay, that's not a problem. But what if I say print hello world 1,000 times? So are you going to write the print statement 1,000 times, or you do something else? So one time hello world message is print hello world, and if I'm saying it, repeat the same hello world message 1,000 times. So which programming language concept you guys are going to use? Just write that name of concept in the chat room. Either you write 1,000 times print statement. Wonderful. Okay, I got answer from that. Yes, in this case you will be using looping concept like either for or while. Is this answer is satisfied, I mean understood by everybody? Two answers we get, either loop or, I mean, loop is the only one. Now it doesn't matter which loop you guys are using, like for and while. Okay, so rest other people also, are you agree with this situation that Yes. So technically, you are not going to write the print statement thousand or number of times. You just play smartly to do the same. Okay. But here you come in, being developer, repeating the same assignment again and again is giving you a concept of loops. Like, okay, you can write the program. Don't you think so that the similar approach needs to be followed by you guys here also? When you know how to create a single virtual machine by following some steps, similarly, if I'm saying same task you have to do 1,000 times or 100 times, and in fact, after all those virtual machines, you have to perform the setup and configuration of Apache HTTPD service to all these virtual machines. So don't you think so? This is again a problem of repetition. But now the things are happening at cloud level, and we are not running in a single system. We are running 1,000 machines or 100 machines, and then we are doing a number of repetition on the setup of steps. Okay. So are these two things are relatable? We are doing same job, but this time you are not programmer. Let's say you understand cloud engineering, or maybe you are operation engineer. Operation engineers means maybe you are a system engineer, or maybe you are network engineers. Okay, and you ask to repeat the job 100 or 1,000 times, the same steps. So if by using some technology, we can adopt this feature here also, so we'll save the time, resources, and money. We don't have to do the same job again and again, and you can come this and join that thing together. Okay, so technically this solution can work. Definitely, implementation is not that easy because this time you are not having your normal laptop platform where you write the code. But if you think from some developer perspective, your operational cloud engineering job can be made easy by implementing the programming logics here. If you can do, how we can do that, that is the second problem, but at least you got that idea. If you're a developer, you can think the similar approach here. Creation of virtual machines and doing the same thing is two different things. Okay, one more yes message, and we'll talk about the next generation technology in this world. Okay, all right, good one, guys. Wonderful. So, all right. But the complexity is whenever you connect to the system or network or cloud engineering team, they are not good, very much good with the development or as a developer. And when you come to the developer teams, they are not really up to the mark with the operation and engineering team. So that means here there are two different people. The one who are really amazing with a developer, and the one who are really amazing with the operations. Okay, so developer and operations. If we combine both the skills and design some technology, some work nature in IT industry, so we can call there is a new technology growing these days, which is known as DevOps. Now, what is DevOps? So DevOps has number of tools and technology under it, which is combining the feature of developer and operation engineer. So we can make some tool who can leverage the benefit of both engineering team in one shot, so that you never have to worry about, okay, so what DevOps tools can do, they are making number of automations, because we need automation in repeating job. We need provisioning to save the time. We need monitoring, whatever going on, it's fine. We need security also to repeat the job. So whatever going on in a non-human way, we need automation, we need provisioning, monitoring, security, and many other things which is there. So now people are working in this nature where two different operation teams, two different teams like developer and operation engineer, and we are making tools or we are using those tools to solve the problem. As of now, the first problem we need who can create virtual machine, or I can say create resources in cloud environment, but in a much faster way. Sometimes the technical language for creating resources we known to be provisioning, provisioning resources. And once these resources are ready, we need to install things and configure things. Install and configure. For example, creating 100 of virtual machine is a different job, but installing and configuration of Apache HTTP server is really a very, very much different job for us. Okay, so these two jobs can be seen. Now these two things are coming into the category of automation engineering under DevOps model. So now DevOps is not a technology, guys. It's just a work of nature or a culture where number of problem statement which is existing in the market is getting solved by using number of tools and technique. Okay, so in IT industry, to create resources in any cloud environment, we are going to use a provisioning tool called Terraform. And once the resources are already ready to install, configure, secure them, all these number of virtual machines, we are going to one more configuration management tool called Ansible. So Terraform for resource provisioning purpose, it is much faster, and Ansible for configuration automation system to those resources like Apache, Java, Tomcat, anything, maybe network also. Okay. So we identified those problem statement, and now we will be solving them likewise. Okay. So let's understand it more theoretically, and then we'll do things in practical way. Okay. Fine, guys. Now everything will be doing practically. Now, what is the beauty of Terraform? See, the problem statement with the developer is, if I say what a developer is having problem, if you know Java programming language and you are writing some code here and you want to perform the same thing in C, maybe in Python, maybe in Go, so you have to learn their syntax and methods to perform the same job, isn't it? But what if I have different cloud like AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google GCP, Oracle OCI, all these cloud platforms. Now I want to create virtual machine. Maybe I want to create network infrastructure. I want to create databases, but it doesn't matter in which cloud. So I need some unified platform who can expectedly automate the job of independent cloud. It doesn't matter which cloud you're using. So you just can do it by using Terraform. Terraform support almost every cloud to process this information in very, very much similar way. So it doesn't matter you want to create thousand of them in AWS, Azure, GCP, or Oracle Cloud, you can use Terraform in similar way. That's why you just have to worry about how to execute and run Terraform, then how Terraform is going to implement these resources automatically. So this is generally why we are not preferring to write the code in different languages, because definitely developers has their different expertise. So let's make it common, use Terraform, learn Terraform, and understand that problem statement. Now, it doesn't matter where you created virtual machines or network or databases, if you want to configure or install them. For example, on a virtual machine, you want to install Apache and host website. On a network devices, you want to configure some routing protocols, some DHCP, some DNS, all these things. So that can be done by Ansible. Ansible can automate virtual machine internal process, databases, network, and everything. And by combining them, you can leverage the technology to done the things in very, very much different way. So it doesn't matter for Ansible also where your virtual machine is running on AWS, Azure, or GCP, or in three platforms. It will connect and do the job accordingly, right? So we'll see that one here, intro to Terraform and Ansible.
Okay. Now, similarly for Ansible also, it's a YAML-based automation tool, which is a human readable engine kind of thing. And how Ansible work? Why I given this page? Because you have to write your management code here, and through SSH, it will be connected to all the targets and perform the work. And that's why we understood SSH state, so that you don't have to worry much about it, right? And this very similar information we have. All right. Few more information I would like to throw on Terraform is designed in Golang, while Ansible is designed in Python programming language. So in case you know Go or Python programming language, it will be really helpful for you to understand things very much accordingly. Right? So first of all, we will understand how to set up these two technologies and why we have used that common virtual machine. See, because I don't know what kind of laptop configuration you guys are having. So here in this AWS virtual machine, this machine will be using as my setup machine, where in this machine we will be installing Terraform. Also, we will be installing Ansible. Then we'll understand how they are going to connect to any of the cloud like AWS, GCP, Azure to perform these things. So that's why I make it fixed that this virtual machine will be fixed for all days. We'll install our software here, and by using this machine, we'll be able to understand things accordingly, right? Now about Terraform, it doesn't matter. You can install Terraform in any of the operating system, like in Windows, because it's a platform independent, or in Linux or in Mac, it's all fine. Whenever you install Terraform in either Linux, Windows, or Mac, it is completely okay, because after installation, how you can use it, it's very much common. So if you go to Terraform community, and here you try, let's say Terraform, install Terraform, you'll get learn.hashicorp.com, and here you can install Terraform in your respected platform, like Mac, manually, or maybe on Windows, Linux, or anywhere. You have the arbitrary packages where you have to set the path and all. But as I'm saying, it doesn't matter where you install Terraform. Once you install Terraform for the first time, now it's very easy to use it altogether. So we're not going to focus much on installation of it. Rather, we will install it on our Amazon virtual machine. So we'll start using that. Okay.
All right, wonderful. So technically, we are at some point of time where we are now going to talk about our automation engineering using Terraform. And Terraform is automation tool which you guys can really think of understanding in very much simple way, right? So I can see 7 responses are there. Now let's time to go and check things all together. Fine. So we'll go there, and the top command you might have ran, you can just hit Control C. Okay, you can hit Control C, and we'll be on the same page. I think my Control C is also not working. Okay, so you can log in back if the Control C is not working by closing terminal, but I hope this may work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hashtag, and we are logged in. See, if I try to see Terraform,
Just a quick info, guys. If you want to make a career in cloud computing, then Intellipaat provides an advanced certification on cloud and DevOps by IIT Madras. This course is taught by industry experts and IIT Madras faculty. This course is designed to upskill and land your dream job. Now let's continue with the session.
right there, then you can cross check. By default, Terraform is not found. Even if you try to hit in your local terminal Terraform, right? In your Mac, I mean, in my Mac, it's already there. But in your Windows, if you type on PowerShell or CMD, you won't be able to get the Terraform. Okay. So now what we can do, we can install Terraform, and to install Terraform, we have this one. So it's simply, let's use this product link and check on installation of Terraform on Amazon Linux. And here we have these two commands, 2 to 3 commands. If you have Debian for other things, it is all fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just click here, like install Terraform on Amazon Linux. And to do that, I really need to log in with the root access. So I am getting login in the root access, which is, I believe, IP address I have to check with 3 dot something. As of now, these many people are logged in. And now to install Terraform, I am in the root access. Okay. So you guys cannot do sudo -i. If you see, I try to do sudo -i directly. It says type your password 12345 hashtag and will get that one. Ashu is not in the sudo host file, then incident will be reported. So definitely we are not going to get that one. So it's not there. Now here I have sudo access, so I got this. Now going into the official website and then copying this command and try this one, install, then this one, and finally this. So Terraform is getting installed. Now once it is installed, you guys can try to hit Terraform -v. Okay, that's wonderful. So installation happens successfully. Now you guys can check it's perfectly working fine. Okay, so I get 3 to 4 responses, and yes, we are now here. So technically, if you see there, we are having it. So now let's understand this from a Terraform point of view, how Terraform we can use it. So just going there in Terraform section, and once you see, it is really similar to human readable format. So now we are using Terraform to automate resource provisioning of AWS cloud. Similarly, I will be giving you idea how to provision the GCP, Azure, and any other cloud also. Okay. Now, before you try to understand how Terraform is going to use AWS cloud, let's see how we being human, how we are doing the same. So we are connecting with the portal of AWS. We are supplying username and password. And after login, we are going to EC2 section to perform things accordingly. This is something we are doing as a human. So we know how to go to the portal. But when it comes to Terraform, Terraform is a tool or infrastructure code engine, and how Terraform is going to interact with AWS cloud. Okay, so we really need to understand that as a question mark. Now, if you might have gone through Terraform introduction page, the one I shared with you guys, you might get some workaround. Okay. Now, this is your Terraform, and this is Terraform provider, means Terraform can connect to any target system by using provider. Now, what is provider? We may use Terraform provider AWS, we may use Azure, we may use GCP, and whatever provider we use will be connecting to the target. Now, on the target system, we are not using portal, we are using the API of target system. Okay, so technically, more than 1700 plus providers are there. That means Terraform can provision with about 1700 plus providers for provisioning of resources purpose. Okay, so the answer to this question, Terraform will be using AWS API. Now, I don't know how many of you are understanding API, but API is another way of sending requests to these providers using some backend programming logic. Okay, and this API is already created by all the targets like Amazon, Azure, like Amazon, GCP, Kubernetes, Helm, Datadog, and many others, right? Okay, so likewise, we are connecting to AWS portal using username and password. Similarly, to connect through API, we need some secret and access keys. Secret and access key. Okay, so almost every provider is having its own secret and access key to connect with Terraform. Okay, now here we go. So first of all, I'm going to write here Terraform access key. So how we can use a secret and access key there. So I'm going to log in into my Amazon root account, and this is the CNA user. For this CNA user, we guys are having as of now username and password. Let me give you access and secret keys also. Okay, in my AWS portal, I have user section, and in user section we have security credential, right? So CNA security credentials. Okay, and here we are having this security credentials. So I'm just deleting the existing thing, whichever we have, deactivating it. Now I will be creating the new one. See, maybe you won't be able to access this portal. So if you try to go in OHIO region under the last option, here you will see security credentials. So if you click here in security credentials, okay, you may see this user section, And in user section, CNA, you may get security credentials. And here you can do that one. Okay. So you don't have to do it from here because I am already giving you those credentials. So what I'll do, I'll generate access key for all of us. And this is the one. Okay. So here is the thing. Now this is my access token. In fact, I can download the CSV file. This is my access token, which I'm going to put on my system. Okay, maybe in my local laptop under my desktop, let's say AWS. So the one. And the second thing is secret key. So both the thing I just copied, AWS access and secret key. Now let's go back to Terraform instance, which is there. I don't know why it is getting stuck for me. Okay, so I am logging to my account. Let's say you guys can create a very sample file where you can put your credential. So the access and secret key which we configured, we can set with our own account. So like these many people are logged in here. So how to set your credentials here? There is a command called AWS, right? There is a command called AWS configure. So you, all of you people, just hit AWS configure command and then hit enter. It is automatically going to ask for AWS access key ID, which is the first one I am using here. Second is AWS secret key access. So the second one is this, starting from L to this here access key. Now, what is the default reason name? So if you log in, you're log into your portal under EC2 services, under EC2 services. So our reason name is not Virginia. I think we are in Ohio region. And if you see, the Ohio region is having name code US East 2. If I click here in Ohio region, the name is US East 2. Okay, you can also see here US East 2 A, B, C, and all. So I'm gonna get US East 2, just main name. Otherwise, you can also get from here US East 2. So this is my region name. Perfect. I don't have to use any format thing, and that's fine. So you guys can do this. So from your personal account, like my account name is Ashutosh, so I configure it. You also have to do the same. Is it all good, guys? And have you done the same? Okay. So ultimately, we are on the very much same page. Okay. So here is the thing. Okay. Now, what we need to do to write our own code in Terraform script format. Okay. So once it got connected, it's time to write the Terraform code. Now, don't worry, even if you don't understand any programming language as of now. Okay. So like we have different programming language options. So here in Terraform, write script, we use HCL language. Coincidentally, the name of language is CL, which is HashiCorp configuration language, right? So the name of language which we guys are using or will be using is HCL. Now, don't worry if you are not very much familiar with SCL. It's all fine. We'll be understanding it very much carefully. Okay. And sometimes to write these languages, it's a very good idea that you can use some IDE, programming IDE, to write the code in very much similar format. Okay. So what you can do, if you use Microsoft VS Code in your past experience, or maybe Visual Studio, whatever you know, it will be really great. If you if you're not having any experience of doing that, that is also fine. But let's use Microsoft VS Code for writing a HCL language for Terraform automation, right? So how many of you have used Microsoft VS Code or something to write any normal code or something like that? Okay, I can see few responses. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay, no problem. Whosoever have used, that's fine. And if somebody is not familiar to that, one, which is Studio, it's very simple. It's like, normal editor you can consider. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll first put here things using HCL to write Terraform scripts, scl.png. Okay, now what you do to write these codes in your local laptop, VS Code, Microsoft VS Code, right? So we downloaded Microsoft VS Code, and here is the link. I think you all are having Windows, so choose first option. It will automatically download that one. And once you download and install, just let me know. You don't have to select any specific option. Go with the default installation. Okay. All right. So take your time. I think it's not that much bigger software. Let me see. It's 72 MB near about. I'm canceling it because I don't need exe file. I have my own, which is for MacBook. So 30 MB software size is here. You download it and install it. So whosoever already having it, you don't have to do anything, right? You just wait for the next instruction set. And keep me posted with yes message, with done message actually, once you got it downloaded. And after downloaded, just open your VS Code by searching in your window button, and then you'll be getting something like this prompt. Okay. So this is the sample window of Microsoft VS Code. So you can just stick on there, and you'll be having this kind of window in VS Code once you done with the download and install. It's very easy, basic steps to do and install. If anybody is facing any complexity, just let me know. All right. So now, once you have done it, let's do one more thing. Done and open like this. So you have to select one more system here. That is, you must be having this 4-box icon on the very left panel of VS Code, which is extension button. This one, you must be having this one right there. Okay. If you do have, just click on this extension button, and search for a plugin called SSH. Okay, search for a plugin. So first click here, you get the search button, search for SSH, and you have to select the very first option, which is this one, where you will be getting Remote SSH by Microsoft. And you will be having this button called install. So once you click on this, you search for SSH, select first one, and the Microsoft will be having this one, and click on install so that it will be getting installed in 1 to 2, few seconds, just 5 to 10 seconds. And once you install it, you will get automatically the disable and install option. That means it is now installed. Okay, so check that one automatically. Done, guys? Okay. All right. Now, once you get that one, you will be getting this green box right there. See this green box. Anybody, any 1 or 2 people can let me know. Are you guys getting that green box after installation? Yes. So once we get this one, so let's make things really easy. So the purpose of installing VS Code is now 2. We'll be writing HCL language code in a very efficient way. But the point is, our Terraform we have installed in a virtual machine which is running on EC2 service of Amazon Cloud. So definitely this IDE VS Code, it's running in our laptop. And if you write the code, we have to run from here. But the problem is the Terraform is running on VM. So VS Code can connect to this virtual machine using SSH. And that's why we have this one, 3.130.2466. This one, enter. And it is not going to ask for Linux and Windows because Mac is already having that detection mechanism. It is directly going to ask password for that account, which is again 12345 hashtag and enter. And if you see there, the password is opening the remote and we are connected. Now I'm closing the previous window, clicking here, and I'll be keeping this window ahead. You can use mouse to make this window bigger or maybe smaller, maybe scroll this up a little bit, hold it the way you use with every software. Now, once you're connected with this, you can click on terminal menu on the VS Code, and then you'll be getting that one like that. And then see Terraform-V, and I am going to create a folder, let's say automation. Okay, and that folder I need to log in from my VS Code. So I go to file menu, click on open folder, then automatically it will be coming in the drop down. I'll select the automation folder and click on OK. Then maybe it's gonna re-ask for a password one more time. So definitely, if it is re-asking, I'm going to type that one again, very slow. Okay, now you guys can log out from the terminal because I think the connections are too much. So maybe it will be prompted. So what you guys can do, you can log out and just close that one, because for me it's not asking. Maybe we have more number of connections unnecessarily. So what I'll do, I'll just close it and I'll do one thing. To set up the thing, I will restart my virtual machine, because if the connections are too much, then it may face maximum connection limit, so which automatically will be logging you out from VS Code and this terminal. Now you don't have to use your PowerShell for connection purpose, right? So it's just restarting that instance. Okay. So it's possible that you must be logged out automatically from the PowerShell or from Git Bash, which is fine. You don't have to use it again. Now I'll open my VS Code and see if you have connected that one. Then if you open your VS Code again, in the recent section, you must be getting that folder connection details. So close your VS Code and open it again. And in the recent section, you must be getting that one. And I'll use this system to connect it again. This time, if my server is up, it is going to ask for a password if it is up, which I can make clear by this command. Is it up or not? I think not yet. Okay, yes, it is up. Yes, asking for password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hash. Yes. Yes, tell me. Yes, tell me. So we are connected. Okay, so now how many of you have reconnected with the VS Code? And here you will get the same folder name what you just created and done. Then I open terminal. Okay, yes, by Deepak, and maybe others also you get the same thing. Okay, others also, are you guys connected? Like, okay, very good. So this is the setup of Terraform. You can open terminal again, and then you'll be getting that one right here. All right. So now it's time to write our first Terraform script, which is C. So what you can do now, once you are here, click on this automation folder, the arrow key, and you are having two options, file and folder. So click on the first option and create a file, give a name like, let's say, AWS, or maybe, for example, ec2.tf. So the extension is Terraform TF, which you can write, click here, and you have first option, click here, then you get the file name and write ec2.tf, because this is for creation of EC2 instances. Okay, and then we have to write script here. So our Terraform, a script of HCL language, we will be writing in .tf file, which is a Terraform extension by default. Okay, and it's very, very simple language. You don't have to worry about things. Okay, all right, guys. So can we start writing? Okay, so there are few very, very much standard keyword. Like first keyword is providers, right? Provider. Okay, and you have to write which Terraform provider you want to use. So that will be always the name of that cloud. You have to remember few points. The provider section is always for whatever cloud you want to automate. So this is a Terraform provider. Now we have to write open and close curly braces like this. And even you can comment this out also. Maybe provider means always which target means what is your target cloud. So our target cloud is AWS. So I'll write my provider is AWS. So my Terraform will use AWS understanding intelligence to connect this one. Okay. Now in AWS, what details you need first, which is reason. So what is the reason? Okay, the reason is US East hyphen 2. This is the name of Ohio reason. Okay, so reason is a fixed keyword is equals to, you give space, either use single or double quotes. So you can have a practice of using double quotation, which is a best practice in Terraform, although it's not going to matter much, but this is the one. So automatically your VS Code will be coming to that one. So in your provider, you first given this one. And if you remember that point, okay, we are connected with the OU and the reason code is US East 2, which I just written here. US East 2 and here also US East 2.
Just a quick info guys, if you want to make a career in cloud computing, then Intellipaat provides an advanced certification on cloud and DevOps by IIT Madras. This course is taught by industry experts and IIT Madras faculty. This course is designed to upskill and land your dream job. Now let's continue with the session.
Now to connect this reason, what can be the access key and what can be the secret key? So you can write access and secret key here also if you want, which is really not a good practice. And you know that we have done it, this writing access and secret key by using command called AWS configure. But as an alternative, I'm just giving you this option. You can write this information. So if you don't want to write them, you can comment this line 1 and 2. So, and I can write it down like okay, we have already configured it using AWS configure. In fact, we have configured the reason also, so we can avoid this entire thing, but I'll fine. I'm just trying to give you the idea. Okay. So even if someone is not understanding programming language much, you don't have to worry about that thing. Okay. So first section is provider, which is perfectly fine. And we are going to move to the second section, and that is fine. All right, guys. So hopefully the provider section is done. Now, if you are automating for Azure, you can write Azure, you can write GCP. Likewise, you can keep exploring things. But right now our target is AWS, so I'm writing is AWS. Okay. What kind of provider Terraform support? You can always Google about them, like Terraform providers. Okay. So you'll get a huge list here that Terraform can automate number of providers. See, AWS, Azure, GCP, Kubernetes, Alibaba, and whatnot. Okay, so they really have a very strong community where we can do the same. All right. So now Terraform provider. In Terraform provider, now what kind of resources we want to target? Okay, what kind of resources we want to target? Now again, the resources section, not resource, actually resource we want to target, SOURCE, resource we want to target. And the resource will be like, again in key value pair. Okay. Now, any cloud is having number of resources. For example, if I talk about Amazon cloud, we have number of resources. We want virtual machine, we want networking, cloud cell, blockchain, containers, and many other things. Many other things. But if our target is to create virtual machine, then for that, the resource name is AWS underscore instances. Sorry, instance. AWS instance. This is the fixed name. I will be sharing you documentation to get the list of resources which AWS provide. Okay. Now the target, the meaning of AWS instance is we want to create a virtual machine. So here I will give a name, let's say Ashu VM1. Okay. So if I comment it out like name of resource, comma, here name of VM. So my resource name in Terraform, is AWS instance, which is a fixed name, and the name of my resource in cloud. Okay, you write this. Just give me 1 second, guys. So now you can say in a Terraform, in a very much simple way, I can write the provider name and the reason and access and secret key, which we already have configured it. Okay. And now in resource, this is a fixed name which AWS Terraform support, and this name you can give anything. Like I'm giving it my VM. Now, to understand that one, let's understand what things we need to write here for creating virtual machine. So whenever we create any virtual machine like this, so we first choose any Amazon machine image. Okay, what we do, we choose Amazon machine image. So the first keyword is in Terraform also under this is AMI is equals to that image name which you want to create. So like when we create a virtual machine, we choose this MI, and either you can use the MI code like this is the name of MI code. So I'll go there and write it. So like here, I am sharing details to you guys, and I'll write this MI code. So this means automatically Terraform will connect to OHU region of AWS Cloud, and it will search for MI this ID, because every MI ID is unique in Amazon Cloud. See, this is also different. So I just copied that ID and I just paste it here. Okay. Now, the second information after selecting MI we are getting asked is the instance type, which instance type you want to use. Instance type and T2 micro. So the second keyword is here also is instance underscore type is equals to T2 dot micro. Perfect. So writing this script is very much logical if you know AWS Cloud basically. So we have just selected these two also, and I'm sharing this entire keyword. Whatever instance type you want to use, you just check this one, T2 nano, T2 micro, small and all, but please do choose T2 micro only. Okay, so this is the one. Now, after choosing instance type, let's say this one, I'll go to next. Here, number of instances and this, as we didn't do anything here, so we'll go next. Storage also we choose by default, so we go next. Now here we added some key. So here also, this keyword is known as tags. Okay? And in tags also, we have a to data. So we'll write this curly braces again, and where the name of key, we write name is equals to, let's say, Ashutosh VM1 by TF by Terraform. So it means we are writing it like adding this name and this name, we are writing this. Okay, I'm not writing it here. So do use this tag section. Now the tag section is for tagging your VM name so that you can identify, okay, this is. So you can write your own name VM1 by TF. Okay, this is a logical name. Name is N capital with a fixed keyword. Okay, sorted. Now final thing what we enter is the key. So if we go there, the security group is automatically a default, or we can also write our security group as well. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that thing. So if you want to write the security group name, I mean the Terraform script name or security group name also, which is completely fine. So whenever we use any Terraform project, we try to understand and create things accordingly. And when we create things accordingly, we generally try to write key name, tags, and every single thing which we are generally taking in the same scenario. Okay, so instance type, AMI, and all these things we have written. Now let's write this one more name like here, key name, key underscore name, which is the key name that is already we guys created. And if you see there in the beginning of the portal, EC2 instance, the kind of keys we guys already have created and we already have in download state, any key name which you created. So I am choosing maybe Ashupath, maybe Ashu Day2, whatever I have here. So I will go there and I'll choose this one. Okay. So this is the thing. Okay. Once you all have done the same thing, okay, just let me know. Okay. And also, if you want to write that last information, I think you know that security group underscore names, that you can also write there. Otherwise, you can ignore it. They will be creating it automatically. So check that one. So if you guys have done it, just let me know with yes message. Only this much. Security group will write it later. But yes, that's fine. Okay, wonderful, 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 guys. So this is the bare minimum Terraform script file which we guys written and used it. And hardly, if you see, it's a very few line of code which is going to connect to your AWS instance to provision the resources likewise. Okay, so see this one. Okay, now if it is fine, let's try to apply this one. If you see right now on my Terraform, instance on Ohio, we are really not having any instance apart from my one which we are connected. So we want to provision this here. So let's understand how to run Terraform script. Run TF. So Terraform, first of all, need to identify if you have used AWS provider, and under that provider you have used some keyword like AWS underscore instances, and like that, how Terraform will know. So you need to, for the very first time, just one time only, you need to initialize Terraform script so that Terraform will download all its keyword provider from internet and it will identify them. So this step, you open the terminal, you see it right there. You can scroll it up like that if you want. And now here you see you have this one. Maybe if some number is visible here, so please save this file by Control S, or maybe click on File menu or click on Auto Save button. Once you auto save, your file will be automatically saved whenever you make changes. So please do enable auto save button. All right, so that every time you write something, it will be automatically going to be deployed. Okay, so just do auto save that. Now here you see we have just one. So for the first time, very first time when we are provisioning this one, we have to do Terraform init, enter. So what Terraform init will do, it will detect your EC2 file. See, it will initializing the backend, initializing the provider plugin, and it is finding the latest version and it looks like, okay, Terraform script has been initialized successfully. So this is the step which you have to do for the very, very, very first time only. And they find that, okay, only AWS is the provider which is written in the script. You don't have to give the file name. It will automatically detect that. Okay. So we'll go here, sample code to deploy or to provision Terraform. And this is the sample code, I can say. Now to run script, the first thing I have to do, Terraform init, only one time. And I did that and I got that answer. Now from after today, you never have to do anything from now onwards. Okay, this is only a one-time script. So have you guys done it and you got the same outcome? Yes or no? Good one, good one. Now, the Terraform script you have written, what this exactly is going to do, you can see by doing Terraform plan. So before you actually apply this in production environment, you must always try what is the script is going to do. So plan means let's check what is going to happen. It's kind of dry run. So before you deploy, let's check what is going to happen, which is now Terraform plan. So plan will give you the idea, okay, what is going to happen. So it is saying plan 1 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. So nothing is going to destroy, nothing is going to change, one thing is going to be add. And these many things they have given, okay, like as a metadata option. Okay, so this kind of details which we have given. This is just an outcome of your plan. All right. So technically, plan means dry run. Now, if you think, okay, the script you have written, it is very much up to mark, and you want to deploy it, the final command is apply. And this is the command which is going to make the real changes in the AWS cloud. Enter, and it will say, okay, it will add this thing. And if you really want to accept this approval, so just type yes only yes. Perfect. Once you type, it is going to connect AWS Cloud API in the backend, creating that VM instance and doing all the changes, whatever you mention on that, right? So I'll just do this and apply, and okay, and then let's deploy it. And plan, I'll go there and check plan. Fine. So what happened, successfully created, and I can see this changes like there, and I'll just do it like this. And let me just commit the changes actually to see it. And the most important thing, if I go back to my Amazon dashboard portal and refresh it, Yeho, Ashutosh VM by TF, Deepak VM by TF. So we have now 2 virtual machines running by Terraform, and that's how it happened, the provision. Okay. So now you can share this script with anybody. They just run as a Terraform init plan and done. So ultimately, the bottom line is Terraform is all about init it only for the first time, init, plan, apply. Now you have to do it for the first time. That's happened only first time. Now, anytime you make changes, just plan it to see the changes and apply to get the approvals. Fine. So we'll talk about it more, but by writing that much very sample code, so Divya, me, and Deepak, we have done it. And now I am going to just commit the changes here. You see right there, run the script, init, run, apply, and done. Okay, so I am uploading these files if required, committing the changes, also just editing it, sample code, and now finally making the changes. Wonderful. This is how Terraform works. Target API, provider. This is the normal configuration. Then SCL language. This is SCL language. Sample code. Run the script. This is this. Terraform init, plan, and apply. And then things happen like this. Let's do one thing. Terraform destroy to destroy the resources. Final command. And again, yes message. Rest people, please do follow this blog. Again, it's not acceptable at all that you're not following. And then only once you follow, then only you do this. Now, what we can do, let's connect all the dots and try to understand what we have done in past few things. So let me first reload. Okay, so closing it. So I am reconnecting my window to the remote instance and accessing this with password. And yes, we are here. So all of you whoever deployed these VMs, like for example, for me and Nema, I think, okay, and so these many things, right? So you guys can delete them, and how you delete them by Terraform, by just doing Terraform destroy. Okay, so delete this, then we'll restart things accordingly. So now let's understand from this point of view. When we understood resource like that, and we try to understand things from different scenario, then definitely you guys have these problems at how to provision number of resources in one shot and without accessing your cloud portal, right? So we understood Terraform, which is a cloud-based provisioning tool that is gonna automate the process of provisioning and destroying. And then we understood, okay, how we can use Terraform. So to use Terraform, we have to install it somewhere, and then we have to find the provider, and then using the target APIs, we can deploy them. And to use Terraform, if we are using for a provider AWS, that means we want to deploy resources on the target system, then definitely we need to get connected. So for AWS, I configure AWS configure command, and here I pass the access on 250 and the region name. And on this region name, it's going to be deployed automatically like this. So here we did that, and these regions are nothing. You know that it's Ohio region. If I refresh it again, okay, it's Ohio region, which is running fine. So this is the thing. Now, after configuring this, we have written sample script, then we run it. Running process is all about Terraform init, then plan, and then apply to do that one. Then now we are starting from here to understand the deployment purpose. Okay, So this is the thing which we have done it. In a nutshell, Terraform script run method, you can say Terraform init, then Terraform plan, then Terraform live. If it is all done, this is one time only. You can keep repeating things accordingly, and then finally, if you want to destroy, you can use destroy command. Okay, and after destroy, if you have done it perfectly, then let's recreate everybody, right? Plan will let you know, okay, it will be added one. So here, plan is working fine. If plan is working fine, in it you don't have to do every time, just apply it. This time I want every one of us to really deploy your resource using apply. Okay, yes, and then let's wait for the time for all the instance to be in created state. Okay, so see, it is now saying added. Repeating things again, please do not use the same details. If you copied from GitHub documentation, change this name and put your own key. These two things you have to change. Rest, everything is perfectly fine. And once it's done, let's refresh to see the changes. So now requesting from others also, please do the apply one to deploy it. Apply means deploy it on the target machine. So here target system is your AWS cloud. Okay. So again, everybody like do reapply of resources so that now I get the clarity that yes, you understand things accordingly. So let's understand Terraform in final way. Okay. So for the first time, when you try to figure out you want to do an automation of infrastructure provisioning of Terraform, the first thing you have to configure, you have to set your credential of whatever cloud you are planning to do that, either this, Amazon, Azure, or anything. And to authenticate, there are different methods. This is a kind of prerequisite you need to perform. Now, step first, create .tf script, any name .tf, and now step number 2, like create init, or you can say not create exactly, do Terraform init. What init is doing, it is downloading the plugins from Terraform repository, downloading the plugin. Now step 3, whatever you have written in the script, is it correct or not? So to verify that one, what this script is going to do, you can use Terraform plan. And this one is a kind of checking the script. Now, next option is finally to run the or deploy resources. The final command is Terraform apply. This will create resources for you. Okay. So basically, this is only one time. Whenever you make change here, you do it before apply, and this is the time. And that's why if you see here, we are getting all the VMs are running. Now, if we take the snap of this for your convenience, it will be all sorted. All right. So This time, I am leaving things behind to make you understand, okay, it's all fine, and things are in very, very much real states. Okay. Now, what we have to do for the next time, let's understand one more thing on AWS Cloud. Then that thing you can uh, perform in Terraform. Okay. Now let's destroy this. So whenever you think, okay, you don't need resources, that means you have done with your job and you want to destroy everything. You want to destroy or delete things. Then what you do now, everybody in one shot, just do Terraform destroy. Once you do Terraform destroy, you write yes message, and then your resources will be gone, and I will be able to see that here that okay, you guys have destroyed resources, and it will keep deleting from here.
Just a quick info, guys. If you want to make a career in cloud computing, then Intellipaat provides an advanced certification on cloud and DevOps by IIT Madras. This course is taught by industry experts and IIT Madras faculty. This course is designed to upskill and land your dream job. Now let's continue with the session.
Yes, so do destroy and say yes, and then things will gone. I'll wait for 1 minute max to max, and then we can see similar kind of. Okay, so just do destroy, then things will be going online. Destroy means you want to delete it. Generally, we don't need destroy, but once you think, okay, you have created it, your POC is done, your proof of concept is done, and you want to delete things, so you do destroy. Okay, so all right, guys. So now, what we need to do, we need to understand the new thing in our AWS cloud, and accordingly, will perform things on very, very much this much. Okay, so like I'm going back to my this one, and after destroying, let's try to understand one more thing. So we know in Amazon cloud, if we want to create a virtual machine, then the service we will be using is EC2, right? EC2. So like EC2, and to create a virtual machine. Now these virtual machines are having RAM, CPU, storage, and everything. And they have the username and password, and things are running right here. Now, what if I want to install Apache HTTPD server in this and host a website on the same page? So once we do that, let's say if there is a one virtual machine, I can simply log in and I can do the step. But if we have hundreds of virtual machine, which is created by EC2, either by manual way, or maybe you guys used Terraform to create this entire script. Okay, you guys use the Terraform to create that entire script. Now, once it is done, how to set up things in these many virtual machines, this is a new problem. And for that purpose, as I told you, let's say by Terraform, you deployed these number of virtual machines who were having their different IP addresses. And now you want to install, configure, manage things on these VM. So for this purpose, Terraform is really not the right tool. Okay. I'm not saying Terraform cannot do that, but definitely something which we need to find out. Okay. Yes. Wonderful, Gopal. And for doing the installation and configuration purpose, we are going to use one more tool, which is Ansible. Okay. So in this virtual machine, we have Terraform, and that Terraform is going to create resources, and we have done it. And these resources are running. But if we want to install or maybe configure things on these virtual machines, then for this purpose, we'll be using Ansible. So this is me, like you guys can imagine yourself. You use this virtual machine to write Terraform script and did the things. This script you are running against any cloud like AWS, Azure, or GCP. So your target is the cloud. But here the target is not cloud, target is these virtual machines where we want to install our software and do the things. And for this purpose, we will be using Ansible. Now, one final thing, Terraform uses cloud API and the access secret and access key to connect cloud these things. But once these VM are already running, what Ansible will do, Ansible will use SSH connection to perform the things right there. Okay, so let's do that. Now I'm going to install Ansible also in the same machine. So this is known as configuration management tool in industry, which is Ansible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect to my this virtual machine, and here I am going to install Ansible. So if I say BLE, Ansible is not there. Let me install Ansible here, which is not available in this command. So I will use this command to install Ansible. So installation is not a big problem. Generally, you can get number of commands to install Ansible on Google or internet. Okay. So first of all, once I install Ansible, you check Ansible version or Ansible -v, or maybe Ansible -version to check the things. Just Ansible command. I can help, and we'll get number of commands in the list. Okay, so the right option is Ansible -version. Okay, hit this command to see its details like this: 219.23 Ansible -version. And now I'll just see here, check Ansible is installed. So installation step is not required as of now. So what you guys can do, just use the same VS Code to write Ansible -version, and hopefully you get the same details what I can see here. Okay, isn't it? Yes, very nice. Good job. So now once you can see these details, let's try to understand how Ansible can target. So making a comparison here, for Ansible also, we have to write script, but in YAML language. Like for Terraform, we have written the script in HCL language, which is HashiCorp configuration language, and YML is a language which we'll be using in Terraform and Ansible. So let's try to figure out this information. And once we figure out this information, it will be really, really cool. So we are going to do some setup. So now I'll go here. And as you know, Ansible machine is connecting to the VM using SSH, using SSH. So first of all, on all these VMs, we have to enable SSH, and this machine then it will be able to connect that thing. So let's first create these VMs, and you know that how we can create virtual machine. These virtual machine we can create by Terraform, and we already have script for that, right? So let's go back to our VS Code, and here we do Terraform plan. Things are very much fine. Okay, and now after plan you can do apply. In plan it says one thing is going to be added. You can apply it this time and say yes, then just wait for its system to be created. I'm going back to portal. Finally, we'll see here the virtual machine will be in running state. Done it. Similarly, rest other people also, you guys can plan the same to be on the same page. Okay. Okay. Now what you have to do, you guys check your VMs is using which key name. For example, for me it's Ashu Day 2. Like for other people also, you are using your own keys. Okay. Now even from this one also, you see the key name is this one. Now open your PowerShell. Open your PowerShell, and then go to your downloads folder, either from command line or graphically, and see do you have the same key name available here. For Windows people, you can open your computer, my computer, and go to downloads, and in the downloads you see, do you have that key, the one you have written? For me, ashuday2.pem I have. Okay, so if you have, then you have to go to downloads folder by using cd downloads, and then sh-i ashuday2.pem, then ec2-user@. Let's see, my virtual machine is having this IP address, where you can see like this is the IP address of my VM. So I take this IP address, or even if you cannot see here, select your VM, and then on the upper you have a connect option. Click on connect. The first option you get the IP address and username. So username is ec2user and this is IP address. And now I am putting it. So instead of typing password, I'm giving this key. Okay, accept this as a password. So I am typing yes, and then I am logged into my EC2 instance. So after creating VM, I logged into EC2 instance, which I'm going back and put it here. Creating VM and log into EC2 user using this one. Okay, guys. So once you logged in, you have to set a password. Everybody, you have to set a password. How you set password? First, you switch back to the root user, and you set like echo in double quotes 1 2 3 4 5 hashtag. You have to set the same password so that we can remember that one. ec2-user --standard input. So login to root user by sudo-i, and then set the password. Make sure you are giving the same password, not anything else, for the same purpose. Okay, once you're done, just keep me posted with a done message that okay, you have done it without any problem. So login, switch, and hit the same command without any changes, and then we will be on the same page. Changing the password, right? Because if you have the key, everybody all set up, that means this step is now done. We have the password successfully set it up for everyone, right? Okay, cool, good job.
So for the first thing, from an Ansible point of view, we are having near about, if you see, the number of virtual machines we are having is really a good list, right? And these VMs, we are having a list. Now, we all have done by setting this password. I'm expecting yes. Nobody is left as of now to set the password. And now what else we have to do after setting password is something, one more changes. So let me figure out that change and password. One more change you have to do. Password authentication is yes. Okay. So open this file in your particular virtual machine. So that's, I'm selecting my VM and I'm logging into that one. If it is still login, that's fine. But I'm logging there. Okay. All right, guys. So there is one more change we have to do, which is, let me just tell you the command exactly, right? So you don't have to follow this step. It's like, so do one thing, just when line number 63 etc sshd underscore config. So you all have to run with the root user this command, because by default Amazon is not accepting password for a security reason. So you know this, right? etc sshd, and here once you go to line number 63, you have to press I and then go in the last, change this no to yes, and then press escape button colon WQ to come out. Okay, so I'm writing the steps right here. After this, press I, then change no to yes, then press escape button followed by colon W and Q, then enter. That's it. After this command, you have to do this. And once you're done with the changes, let me know. So Vim is basically an editor, if you don't know by the chance. Okay. So log in with the root access first by sudo -i, and then do this one. Make sure you're logged in with the root user, not with EC2 user, from sudo -i, and keep things okay. Guys, done or not, just let me know. In the continuation of the last step, do this, press I, change no to yes, then press ESC button, then colon WQ. Let's do a thing just to be in a very quick step. I am going to do one thing. I'm going to just do it on my behalf. If I say this, grep is not having permission to grep in. Okay, so etc ssh s62 config, line number 63, password authentication to yes. Okay, we did it. And after this, I have to restart the service of SSHD. So for it's working fine. Now going back to VM, I think we did it also correctly. Let me just verify and cross-check it. I'm going here, and what I'm doing basically, I'm trying to SSHD accept the password authentication, so which is yes now, and then I am restarting SSHD service, because we have to enable this one to make the changes happen. And similarly, I'm going to access the SCI VM as well, connect it, okay, and then sudo -i. So now we have this configuration details. Okay, so I think all of us have done it, and similar to my virtual machine, it's all sorted. Okay, now let me do it also for myself. So here we go. For my virtual machine, this is the name, and this is the IP address 200. So I am also cross-checking the same SSHD, line number 63, which is okay. Now restarting that service. That's done. Okay, let's close this. So now go back to your what I say VS Code, and from VS Code terminal try to access your VM. See, SSH ec2 -user @ and for example, my VM IP, I select mine. I can use public or I can use private. So let's use private because it is going to fix one. So private IP, but it doesn't matter. And I'll do yes. The password is saying, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hashtag. Perfect. I'm able to log it. Log out by exit. So SH, this is the username common for everybody. Which IP you have to see? Select your VM, and here you have public IP, private. Public IP is keep changing, so you can avoid this, and you can use this private IP, and then from the VS Code terminal, you can connect it. If it is connecting, accepting the password, that's wonderful. Then you can do exit after connecting to log out. And let's be on the same page. So like this, connect, type yes, accept, and check if it is connecting, then log out and write done message over the chat room. So you have to do with your VM only from the VS Code. So basically we are trying to check the authentication with the password is working or not. Okay. Others like, see, very easy. Open your VS Code terminal from the new terminal menu, and then you go back to your Amazon cloud, select your VM, check for this details section. Under details section, you have a public and private IP. Check private IP, copy it from here, go back to your VS Code and do SSH like this. Username is same for everybody, password is same, 12345 hashtag. And once it's got connected, just let me know. See, so this is a kind of environment we have built before we do Ansible thing. So this is a virtual machine where we have Ansible installed, and we are just trying to test, is it by using any username and password, is this machine is able to connect with this machine through SSH or not? It's just a connection test. Okay, connection test. So this job is connection test, and you have to do it only one time in your life, right? You don't have to perform anything all the way. Fine, okay. Now this established connection is done. Fine, guys. So connection test is done for everybody without any problem. Good. Now time for writing the script like we have written for Terraform. Okay. So in Ansible, we will be writing script in kind of YAML language. Okay. Sorry, YAML language. Let's go back here, and like we had this Terraform script. So here you can create one more folder looks like Ansible underscore tasks, so that we can write all things in Ansible task folder. Fine. So you go to this Terraform automation folder, and the second box, first is for files, second is for folder, and create a folder called Ansible task. Any name you can give. Now you can select Ansible task folder and here write, let's say, for example, job one, or maybe task, maybe apache.yml, because we want to automate Apache server, so we can do like that. So have you done this, guys? In Terraform, we are keeping Terraform in a separate folder, and we're keeping Ansible in a very, very much separate folder. Okay. So now the first keyword is hosts. The second keyword is remote underscore user, which is EC2-user. And the third keyword is tasks. Okay. So check that one. I think my password is re-asking for the confirmation. All right, it got connected. So just do that one. Okay. Remote user and tasks. And here under task, first is hyphen, then space name, and we can write something like, let's run first command. Okay, let's run first command. And here the keyword is command. Let's run a command called, for example, date. So we're running this one. So this is the very, very much basic script, and the script of Ansible which we are writing in YML is known as playbook. So in tech word, we call this kind of system like playbook, which is technically, playbook is something which we can write number of tasks here to run that on all the target system. All right, guys. So remote user is this one. Let's run the first command. Date is the command name which I'm going to execute. Okay, so this is kind of function. Okay. Now the only problem is we don't know yet where to run this command, because you see that as of now this Ansible machine is not understanding where to run this one, where to run. So what we can do, I can create a text file and here write all the IP addresses. Okay, so I am creating it for you. Okay, let's say here in Ansible task.yaml, I'm creating a file called, let's say, target.txt, any name I can give. And in target.txt, I'm creating a group name, let's say, my VMs or my VM. And in this one, I'm going to write every single virtual machine detail. Just type it. IP1, similarly 2, likewise IP3. So I'm creating it for you. You guys can use mine, right? Don't worry. And IP3, 4. Now similarly, Gopal VM, 4, Divya and Sai. Again, this job is also for the first time when you are deciding your targets. and you'll see the beauty, how fast Ansible is to connect all the target systems. And then WAMC virtual machine. I think the last I missed of Deepak VM maybe just 68. Okay, so these are all the target machines. We have nothing about them, just we know these are machine IP addresses. The place under Ansible task folder, you have apache.yaml, and similarly, you have a target.txt. This name can be anything. Name is not an issue, and we have done it. Okay, so if you just want to test that one, in my case, see. So first, let me test it. Then you can also do the same. So what I'm doing here, I'm using Ansible. Let's target all my VM.
Just a quick info guys, if you want to make a career in cloud computing, then Intellipaat provides an advanced certification on cloud and DevOps by IIT Madras. This course is taught by industry experts and IIT Madras faculty. This course is designed to upskill and land your dream job. Now let's continue with the session.
Using username ec2-user to do ping using password. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hashtag, and let's see. So it says list is empty. Okay, I have to also do -i target.txt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hashtag. So it given us, okay, 2, 2, 3 is the host machine. Okay. So what I need to do, fingerprint is done. Maybe because I did not ping them to connect this one. So I need to ping them for the first time. But yes. So do one thing, just try to connect using this command. Otherwise, what will happen? I am not able to do that because what happened for the first time, I need to add my host authentication, which means we have to connect all of them one by one because they are having this problem. So for example, if I just target 63, I never connected to 63. That's why they're not reachable. So the problem is ec2-user at the rate this. See, if this message is coming, that means okay, we never connected. Let's accept it. I'm not login. And now if I do connecting, so I will be getting 2 systems reachable. See, 2 reachable. One is this, one is this. Because I tested 2 machines from here. Anyway, so I'll do a quick fix for this. I mean, you don't have to connect it one by one. We have a solution for that. But do 2 things only as of now. Create Ansible task or any folder, and then in this folder write apache.yml or any name.yaml and target.txt or any name.txt, and then you write these 2 scripts. The rest thing I am fixing it for you. Okay, so you don't have to test it one by one. Forget about these commands as of now. If these 2 things are done, you created one folder by this, and you created YML and text file. All right, guys. So keep me posted with yes or no that these 2 things you guys have done it. All right. So this much is now done. Other people also, guys, keep me posted. Okay. So I fixed that one. And all these things are running. So now, once you all have done this one, that means if you can see that you have apache.yaml, you have target.txt, and now you open terminal here. Once you open terminal, you see by ls, you have to go to Ansible task folder because your Ansible data is present there. Now, how to run this playbook? To run this playbook, we have to write Ansible -playbook -i, the name of file, and the name of YAML -ask pass 1 2 3 4 5 and hash, and you see this. Okay. It appears that we don't have host here. Line number 1, there is a one mistake. Okay, I think that mistake is according to the version of Ansible. So what we can do, we can write hyphen in the beginning, and we can write host, then remote user, then tasks. So in different version, things are happening in different way. Anyway, so let me check it one more time. 1 2 3 4 5. I think hyphen is something which is, so there's lots of change going on in different versions. If I just check this, okay, sorry, I have to write here my VM. Yes, I forget that because I'm calling this my VM in this target host system, and then I'll write things all okay. So let me just check it first. 1 2 3 4 5 hashtag. Yes. Okay. So the only thing you have to change as per new guidelines, your YAML must start from the triple hyphen. So I'm sharing the exact command. Okay, we'll do it today. We'll understand how the YAML works, and you see here. So once you do that, now you also understand in this machine, in this file, we have my VM group, and under my VM group, these many IP addresses. Then in the Apache host section, I call that group. Every system having same username. What task I'm performing? Let's run this command. And once you have this, how to run this file actually. So open things like this, go back to Ansible task folder, and then here Ansible -playbook, write my file name where my R targets are written, this one, -ask pass, and the name of playbook. The name of playbook, you can keep it in the last or maybe in the middle, it doesn't matter. So see what I'm saying, hey Ansible playbook, use this file to see how many targets we are having, and they are grouped in some name, and that name is used by apache.yaml here. And in apache.yaml, use username, ec2-user, and then run a command date in all the targets. So in a bulk method, if I type the password only one time, 1 2 3 4 5 hashtag, it is going to gather all the information. All right, and now you see running the task again. So it ran the task, first command date automatically, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6, every single VM, and says okay, run for it. So now anything we want to do, we will be running it very much perfectly. So this is a kind of history we are having. Okay, make sure both the files are present there, and then you run it like that. Now we have set it up every single thing, so we need to just keep adding the tasks. So let me summarize it for the final time, how Ansible will work in industry. See, so first of all, you need to have some system or host, or you can call it laptop also, or a virtual machine, And here you have to install Ansible. Now, Ansible need two things. One is inventory file, inventory where the target details, target host, IP address will be there, like this. And second, Ansible need playbook, where in playbook, it is gonna call this target, and then we'll be having number of tasks. It is also very, very much important that your Ansible must have a connection to all the hosts through SSH with some username and some password. These username password must be common. That's why we took same username and same password, because otherwise you have to set up, if you're not keeping it common, you have to set up a key-based authentication, which is right now we're not exploring, but there is an alternative way also. So all these things common. So these IP address we are having this. So if you try to get it from here, this is my inventory file. This is my playbook file. In playbook, I can keep writing this assignment like just one more thing, run another command. Okay. Say, who am I? So, like this. So we can keep writing task here, and then we'll run those tasks using Ansible playbook command. So ultimately, the bottom line is we will be using this machine Ansible -playbook command to use this and this file and throw all the things to all the VM. Now you have thousands of virtual machine. It will be connecting to all of them in parallel time, and it will keep performing things like that. The only thing I am expecting to you guys is revision. Revision, even in conceptual way, it will work. So you have this day2 file where everything is written, how Terraform works, how Ansible works, and what is the way and the terms, inventory, Terraform, all this. Although we introduced two different tools. This is for creating, this is for performing operation on them. Okay.